created this nest, raising your family who were children, and then they became that college level, then they were the young professionals, now they have families, so they're out of your nest, and you find yourself alone. If you haven't married, you're single, you're in an environment that has been conducive because you aligned your life to His Word. Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. Thank you so much for returning to the Purge box. Let's dive in and align our lives with the Word of Christ. So what that looks like for me and for people who are empty nesters and actually apply some of the biblical principles, and now you can see, look back and see the rewards of it. It looks like multiple income streams. It looks like Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 2, where we're to have 7 or 8 income streams if something evil should occur. Like the losses of the people who have homes have burnt. They lost everything in Los Angeles, plus 24 lives, perhaps even more. And I just hope their lives were right with Christ, and that they did not make a God out of the things that He blessed them with. We're not to serve any person, place, or thing. We should not be making idols out of our homes, out of our spouses, out of our children, nor out of our cars or our jobs or businesses or out of anything. We should not be bowing down to false gods of any sort. So I don't know why these bad things happen, but because they do happen, we must be prepared. We must be prepared. Just having said that, I just want you to get in the spirit, the pattern that if you haven't already been in a decluttering phase, to declutter and prepare for your next phase in life. There's a shift occurring, a paradigm shift, and we're at the cusp of something new. We're at the cusp of taking back what belongs to us. And what does that look like to you? For some people, it's literally their liberties, right? It's their liberties, their ability to be free, to have the money to buy back your time so that you may live life on your own terms is what I'm talking about. And in order to do that, you need systems. And that may be, okay, your home created X amount of money over time, over the 20 and 30 years that you were blessed with it, and you showed the Most High you're a good steward over it. It's like the parable that I believe is in the New Testament, where the master had 3 servants and he gave each of them money. And one did better than the next, who did better than the next, who did nothing, right? And so the ones who did nothing or not so well, they lost their gains, and it was given to the one who made the most money for the master. It seems like the Most High, He blesses those who are good stewards, and He tests us with possessions. And if He comes back, when He circles back to see how well you have done with the blessing that He's bestowed upon you, don't miss the lesson, because the blessing could be the house that He opened up the door, gave you the key to open up the door and walk into it. That was a test for you to unlock wealth for not just yourself, but even potentially the children to come, the children's children, right? So we are responsible for creating generational wealth and banishing and purging generational poverty. We're at this cusp of reframing our lives because we know those systems that we've been accustomed to creates poverty. Let's create wealth. You have to fly, you may have to fly out of the nest. You may have to take your investment now and invest it into other income streams that only you can identify what it looks like. You know the gifts that you have locked in you that you have yet to unlock because you've been tuned in and down to serving other people, but you've been a good steward. You paid your mortgage on time every month, or even if you paid it late, you paid it every single month, year after year, decade after decade. And now it's at a position that it leveled your wealth up. It compounded the interest. So you can take that and you can cash out and you can invest it into the stock market. You have brokers invest it for you. You can begin living off the dividends while your money is making money for you now. You don't have to work as hard anymore because you learned new strategies to work smarter. And so as an empty nester, that's something that you could do with your equity, right? And with the home, if you decide not to sell it, I can plug you into a system that I'm creating an offer for that has the potential to generate multiple income streams for you with that one house. I got the plug and can plug you right into it. So just because you see someone talking about leveling up and talking about money does not mean they don't love Christ. It does not mean their life is not aligned with the word of God. It does not mean that you're supposed to be poor because you love Christ, right? It does not mean that you're supposed to live in lack because your life is aligned with the word of Yah. It's the opposite. We serve an Elohim who is abundant. Christ came so that we can have an abundant life. That's not poverty. It doesn't look or sound impoverished to me. So you have to be very careful also at this point because we're coming from old frameworks, old belief systems, right? We're banishing them. We are purging them, standing on a box, and our four corner of that box is a no BS zone, right? So you have to dig deep within yourself, tap into the God in you, be great on display. Be the G-O-D, the lowercase. Be God on display. Be good on display. You've done all the inner work and the outward work to tap into the Most High God's example of what life looks like for you. When you pray, you don't worry, because if you are worrying, then don't pray. Because why are you praying and worrying when you should be praying and casting your cares upon the Most High, at a petition upon to Him, laying them at His feet? And when you back up out of that holy place, you bow down to Christ. You bow down to the Most High, believing that He's going to do all that He said He's going to do. And you pray His word back to Him. Right? That's how you get your answers, prayers answered. Pray His word back to Him. Because He hears His words. I don't think He hears our prayers when we are not praying His word to Him. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Like, that would drive me crazy if I was all these people talking and you're supposed to answer all these prayers. No, but He hears His words. It's like, whoa, this group, they're all saying this specific prayer. Now let me open up a window of heaven and pour them out a blessing that they won't even have room enough to receive. It's for their children's children. It's for you to leave a legacy. Like, there's so many different scenarios that we can dive into under this one topic of decluttering and reframing your thinking to embrace a new beginning. So as an empty nester, embrace that. And embrace simplifying for travel, Like embrace packing for a light minimalist adventure. Embrace a travel-free wardrobe. You've been preempted of what that looks like as a young professional. If you didn't watch the previous video, that should probably come up somewhere on this page as a suggestion. You should have a minimalist wardrobe already. And if you are retired, then you don't have to wear the same clothing. What does that look like? It could look like sundresses and flip-flops, like Crocs if you're going on places where a lot of sand, or Doc Marten mule shoes, or it could look like your favorite sneakers now. It could look like your favorite t-shirt and cargo shorts, whatever the men are wearing. It could look like your favorite trousers and a nice pair of loafers and like nice little straw hat, right? Where you don't have to show up every day in a suit, because now you're embracing a new lead on life, and you have unplugged from the framework of systems and programmings that doesn't serve you. You've tapped into somatic and neuron linguistic programming. What is that? That is sound and behaviors over words and body, right? Using your words and your sounds and behaviors to shape a new world and create it. That's vision boards, that's meditating, that's praying, that's fasting, that's leveling up. That's reading the scriptures, that's aligning yourself to the scripture, that's speaking, declaring and decreeing positive words over your life, and then doing them. Actually taking your body to take action and create the massive action plan, which you don't have to reinvent, because I created one in my journal, which I'm having my cover remade, leveling it up, manifest your soul purpose. That is a godly plan for you to overcome limiting beliefs. It's a crash course, a 30-day crash course. Can level you up. So as you're traveling, you're journaling, you make sure you have the essentials, your comfortable shoes, you have your journal, you have your travel size toiletries, you have your portable phone charger. Make sure you have your adapters if you're going to Africa or Europe, where you're going to need an adapter as opposed to the Americas. So far I haven't noticed, like you could just plug in your phone charger into the wall, but when you go to Europe and Africa, you need a whole completely different adapter to plug your phone into, then plug that into the wall. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use your phone. So make sure you have those things before you go. Prepare to hit the ground running in your new location. What does that look like? Perhaps just get in touch with a realtor on your phone, but you can't do that if you don't have the proper things to plug into. Just keep it real simple. Be functional, be essential, go through a travel checklist for essential items, and not forgetting these things, because you're going to need like new travel gear that might look like a man bag for some of the guys, a cross-body man bag to keep your items close on you and protected at all times, because who the heck wants to go to a new country and you lose your passport? Like, that would be a drag. Or your ID or your wallet. Like, pickpocketers are out there. So just be aware of what that looks like when you're going through these various traveling situations. Okay, Mishpachah, thank you so much for tuning in. I think that pretty much just brings this segment to a close, and I will touch more on these age-specific goals that we should be creating and reframing to prepare for manifesting generational wealth. Rise in Christ, Mishpachah. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, and I'll see you